5, 6, 7, 8. The boardroom meets the ballroom.
There's no business like show business.
As 5 choreographers of commerce,
This is like business 1, 2, 3.
get entrepreneurs in a twist.
Sorry to give you such a hard time.
No.
You must have come in here expecting that.
Oh, blimey. That was a big piece of information you missed out.
Find flaws in the fundamentals.
I don't like the product. I don't like the business. I don't really like the industry.
And captivate the crowds.
Wilma! Oh no.
That definitely got my attention.
But will anyone waltz away with a dragon's cash?
That is phenomenal entrepreneurship.
I love that.
I'm going to make you an offer.
Welcome to Dragon's Den. Every entrepreneur who enters has high hopes of securing a deal, but only a few will leave with the backing of a dragon. So who'll have what it takes to part one of the fearsome 5 from their cash?
I love you.
First into the den are Honduran Wilma Carcamo and his English wife Ellie.
So we met in the Cayman Islands where we work and live. And we managed to meet by salsa dancing.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
It was only a matter of time before you started dancing.
The couple might have some smooth moves, but can their business earn a perfect 10 from Britain's toughest judges?
Hello, Dragons. We're Ellie and Wilma Carcamo of Caribe Coffee Company. We're here today to ask for a £30,000 cash investment for a 10% equity share in our business.
Caribe Coffee Company launched in September 2018. We are direct importers of specialty green coffee beans from Honduras, Central America. We store, roast, package, and distribute. We're 100% online, 80% retail, 20% wholesale. You might be thinking, another coffee company. But what makes us different is the connections and relationship with the farmers that we have. I'm from Honduras, and I know firsthand the reality of the coffee industry in developing countries. Too often, big corporates take their share directly from the hands of the farmers.
Caribe Coffee Company is passionate about ensuring that farmers receive a fair price. We stand for quality, but also sustainability, which means using environmentally sustainable farming practices, such as removing the use of agricultural chemicals and encouraging biodiversity in the forests. It's an excellent cup of coffee that doesn't cost the earth. We do have some coffee samples to organise for you, and then we'd welcome any questions after that.
Ethically sourced, sustainably farmed ground coffee is the proposition from Wilma and Ellie Carcamo,
Right, I will start.
who are seeking £30,000
Do I take these first two?
The first two, yeah.
in exchange for a 10% stake in their company.
It smells amazing.
I'm just going to have a sip before I ask you the questions.
While Tuka Suleiman may be in need of a caffeine hit to get him going, the entrepreneurs themselves are already full of beans.
You're both very enthusiastic. And that's a good start.
Thank you.
Tell me about yourselves.
Well, obviously Wilma's from Honduras, so he's been surrounded by coffee all of his life. His granny was a coffee farmer. We met in the Cayman Islands in 2014, moved back to the UK 2017. Wilma was, let's say, a little bit disappointed by some of the coffee that he came across.
So are you saying our coffee's not good? You had to make your own.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly
That's pretty
what
much.
you said. I wouldn't overly disagree with that.
Obviously, Wilma's quite entrepreneurial. I love business, and we just thought, let's do this.
So give us a history on numbers.
This year we did 20,000.
2019, we turned over 32,000. 2020, we turned over just over 36,000. We forecast 50,000 turnover at the end of this year with a gross profit of 35,000 and a small profit of 5,000.
So this is what I call a nice small business so far. So tell me the vision.
We want to be a national company for sure. We both work incredibly hard and that's what we're definitely focused on doing. There are obviously other online coffee companies that are turning over millions and You want to be one of them?
News of growing sales and ambitious plans for the future have got Wilma and Ellie off to an encouraging start. But Deborah Meaden is keen to get to grips with the granular details of the business.
How many different types of coffees do you offer?
So at the moment we have 8 different type of coffee.
Our best seller is Copan, and it
Is Copan?
Yeah.
I had a wonderful day in Copan.
I did read that you liked them.
Yeah, honestly, I travelled down through San Pedro Sula down to the Bay Islands.
Oh,
Just
wonderful.
Amazing.
So yeah, that accounts for 54% of our sales this year.
And the other side of the business, which is the wholesale business, what's the opportunity in that? Who are you selling to at the moment?
At the moment, mainly restaurants and small cafes. The visions for that go to grow the same customer base, but also supply other small roasteries.
The smaller roasteries, I think, are really prime at the moment because they're always looking for new product, aren't they?
Yep.
And that is, I've got to tell you, that coffee is lovely.
I like it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A big thumbs up on taste from a well-travelled Deborah Meaden. Now, Peter Jones wants to find out more about how Wilma and Ellie devised their unusual moniker.
When did you come up with the name, the brand?
It means Caribbean in Spanish because Honduras and where we met was in the Caribbean.
And what's your plans to get this well known? Because we know that the market is full of, and the graveyard is full of coffee beans.
Yeah.
So what's your plan here?
Well, I mean, we're already doing it. We won a national award 2020. We're incredibly focused at getting out there.
Now I can see the awards that you've won over the last 2 years. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you told me your sales numbers. And I went, oh.
For a small business, take a little bit of time to build that trust to a customer base. So we're trying to build our name and through social media campaigns to introduce the farmers, to tell them that it's more than just coffee. So I have videos about me talking with the farmers, introducing who they are, what they do.
Those videos on social media won't do very well. The numbers are basically going to be a big view number, 0 engagement, 0 click-through. So how do we get from where you are now to making millions from this in a sentence?
Building our brand, keep pushing what we're doing because we're seeing an increase.
So the answer is building our brand.
Building our
And
brand.
the key USP of this brand versus all of the other thousands of coffee companies in the world is
Sustainability.
there's no other sustainable coffee company.
Well,
It's more about us, the farmers as well, because most of the coffee company, they put a picture in the website, but they not tell the story. You would see, a mother carry the saying, buy sustainable. That's not sustainable because coming from Honduras, I know that mom has been working there over 10 hours with that child.
None of that is communicated on here, right? The subtitle here is great beans, great coffee. And on the back it says, this tastes great.
Because everything is on our website and on social media. We have a lot of content on
we
it.
have a wee bit of a story on there that obviously says that you're supporting
Okay.
family farms. But point taken for sure.
I'm just not sure if it's enough to penetrate a very saturated market.
Marketing maestro Stephen Bartlett is concerned that guaranteeing a fair deal for farmers will be insufficient to drive sales. But could this couple's powerful sense of conviction be enough to win over the dragons?
Ellie and Wilma, love your passion. But I can't put Wilma's passion on every bag of coffee. And I'm sitting here and saying, is there a business going forward that I could make a profit out of? And I think it is a small business for you. So on that basis, I'm not going to invest them out.
A blow for the coffee entrepreneurs as Tuka Suleiman goes cold on the deal. Will Stephen Bartlett be any more willing to plunge big bucks into brews?
Tuka said, we can't put your passion on every bag, but in fact, I think that is the marketing strategy. I think you building your personal brand will be the biggest driver of this business. However, there's a scientific approach to that alone. It's a lot of work. But when I look at the potential return as an investor, it's hard to see me ever getting my money back. So for that reason, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that I'm out.
Do you know, I was sitting here Thinking about my trip through Honduras, my heart absolutely would want to invest in you. But I struggle to find your hook. You know, without you standing here presenting this and showing the passion, that makes it really hard for you to penetrate a market. I don't think you've yet established your reason to be. Find it. Please find it. But it's just not an investment right now, I'm afraid, so I'm out.
Guys, I'm looking at this and thinking, do you know what? You've got a canny little business.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be huge and monumental to be successful in something that you're going to love. So I actually don't think it's the right thing for you to have investment. So I'm going to wish you all the best, but I won't be investing today. I'm out.
4 dragons have now bowed out. Only Peter Jones remains. And in an already crowded market, he's also concerned that Wilma and Ellie could be doing more to stand out from the competition.
Guys, I think the biggest sticking point is clearly the brand. The first question I ask is, where does the name come from? And when I've got to do that for any business, it's really difficult. Why are you not calling yourself, say, the Green Farmer or the Honduras Farmer?
Wilma's.
Wilma's? I mean, exactly. Why are you not saying Wilma's Coffee Company?
Because I was nobody in the UK. Nobody know Wilmer.
But not putting your name on the brand because they don't know you, but putting a name that's difficult to pronounce on your brand instead is weird.
Wilmer's not easy to pronounce either, so you can imagine.
Everybody knows Wilmer. We watched the Flintstones. Wilmer! Come on, Wilmer is a cracking name. I do think the coffee's really nice. So the question directly then is, are you happy to immediately change your brand to Wilmer's Coffee?
Yeah, everything is on the table and everything can be changed.
In that case, I'm going to make you an offer.
Okay.
I'm going to offer you all of the money for 25% of the business.
Can we have a chat with the wife? And Ellie? Yeah?
Yeah.
Their openness to a potential rebrand has resulted in an offer for Wilma and Ellie, albeit at more than double the 10% equity they were originally looking to give away.
Mm-hmm. Can we say 12? No. Drop it half.
The stakes are sky high. How the pair handle the next few minutes could determine the entire future of their business.
Thank you for your offer, Peter. I would like to counter-offer your proposal. I would like to offer you 50% of the company for 30,000.
Lee, do you know what? I think what I bring to the party to help you will be huge for this business. So my offer stands the same. 25% for 30,000.
I'm a stronger believer at what I have done so far in my life. We have put everything to this. 20% will be the highest, for the investment.
I'm going to have to decline. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for your offer.
Oh, no.
I wish you every success.
Thank you so much.
Obviously, I'm out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Sadly for Wilma and Ellie, they must leave the den without having struck a deal, although they won't be departing entirely empty-handed.
I love you.
While a failure to agree terms with Peter Jones could mean their coffee business isn't destined for instant success, this Honduran couple remain the perfect blend.
You feel okay?
Yeah.
We really appreciate that he made us an offer,
Yeah.
but we need to stay in our grounds and, value ourselves and the hard work that we have done.
The ability to embrace risk is an essential element of entrepreneurship. And next up is South African-born Bianca Rangecroft, who's already taken one chance, giving up a lucrative career in banking to start her own business.
Working in finance is a very good learning curve because it's very, very high pressure. So I feel like it's a very good preparation for what I'm going into today.
Looks just like a changing room to me.
Fashionista Bianca may have swapped stocks for frocks, but when it comes to staying on trend, she believes the planet needn't pay
mission is to bring back a culture of caring for our clothes and hopefully becoming more mindful and conscious consumers. This is a rented dress, and then I'm wearing some amazing designer heels that I got in a thrift store.
Hi Dragons, I'm Bianca, the founder of Wearing, and I'm here today to pitch for £100,000 for 4% equity. In a past life, I worked in banking, and I soon realized I had more clothes in my closet than stocks in my portfolio. And yet, the thought of picking an outfit every day was so daunting that I kept re-wearing the same things over and over again. So I built Wearing. And with my clothes now on an app on my phone, I can put outfits together from the comfort of my couch. I can also swipe left or right on outfits recommended by our AI, and it refines its suggestions based on my feedback. It's like Tinder, but for your clothes. Wearing also helps me shop and consume more mindfully. It suggests sustainable, pre-loved, or rental pieces that I can purchase to complement what I already own. Today, we've got 20,000 downloads. Now we're looking to monetize by a cut of sales from both services and products. Join the wardrobe revolution now.
A smartphone app which helps its users to select outfits whilst promoting sustainable fashion is the offering from Bianca Rangecroft.
I'm just going to show you how easy it is to digitize your wardrobe. I take the picture.
Who is seeking an extra large £100,000 investment in return for a 4% share in her business.
This has recognized that it's a shirt, it's bohemian. We also show you what things you could combine it with.
Bianca's app could help its users dress to impress, but will it prove the perfect fit for a dragon? Deborah Meaden is first to try this business out for size.
It sounds very interesting because you can't go on any of the mainstream websites now. You go onto Selfridges, they've got rental sections. You know, people are moving into this circular economy.
Yes.
So how do you see that interaction with people wanting to sell their product, to rent their product?
I love that.
How does that work?
One of the biggest and most beautiful things about the sustainable fashion community is collaboration. So we've been building up caring partners, the likes of Trade, Thrift Plus, Oxwash, and all that happens is we plug in their website to the app.
Are you pre-revenue?
We are pre-revenue.
So how have you funded it so far?
I decided to take a huge risk leaving my career in banking, and so I used my savings to essentially kickstart the app.
So how much money was that?
£70,000.
Okay.
So far.
Now, how much money are you spending at the moment?
It's £6,000 a month.
And how much cash have you got in the business?
We've only got about 10 grand left.
Oh, right. So you are up against it?
Correct.
Thank you.
Without a fresh injection of capital, Bianca's fashion business could easily fold. Now Stephen Bartlett wants to discover which bits of the technology underpinning her app the entrepreneur actually owns.
Bianca,
Hi.
what's proprietary here?
Great question. Everything within the app is proprietary. That includes the algorithm to create outfit combinations.
So for me, style is subjective. So
Yeah.
how does a styling rules and recommendations algorithm produce good results for a million different people who have subjective style?
Very good question. What we've done is we've just made sure that things that we put together don't clash, and we've done
So
some
you
very
would never
clever...
recommend Peter's socks with that suit?
Uh-oh. Warning, warning, Bianca, warning.
So, Bianca, thank you for saying to him that he's asked some really good questions, and I'm quite impressed because it's the best questions he's asked so far. I've got one thing for you, which probably you won't like.
Yes.
Why have you come in here with such a ridiculous valuation?
If we look at comparables for high-growth tech companies,
But you're a zero growth company. So I go back to my question. Why is this worth anywhere near what the valuation you've come in trying to raise at? Sorry to give you such a hard time.
No.
This is what you must have come in here expecting that when you come in with such a valuation.
So the valuation that we've picked is 2.5 million, assuming very conservative levels of purchases, both products and services, within our user base in the app.
What you have developed is very, very simple. I could have this in a quite a short space of time.
Yeah,
So where's the value?
I see your point, but we've got a very strong management team. We have secured some early interesting partnerships with the sustainable community.
You could have a very strong management team, but that doesn't attract a valuation metric for you at the moment.
A disgruntled Peter Jones has failed to buy into Bianca's explanation of how she's arrived at her hefty 7-figure price tag. And Tuka Suleiman wants to find out more about exactly how she intends to convert clicks into cash.
Why don't you just explain the actual business model? How are you going to make any money?
So we have a shopping service on the app where you can browse through sustainable products from ethical retailers. If you make a buy there, we take a cut.
What percentage?
We have negotiated deals between 10 and 15%, and we hope those will go up. And then we have a very high margin B2B proposition where we can help by sharing our data usage and stats such as wardrobe composition, trends, etc. with retailers.
By the time you've given me that information, Style's finished. We've moved on.
Yes, but most importantly, you know what our users are putting together. You've got insight into how Gen Zs are styling denim miniskirts. You've got insight into what they actually own.
Give me the forecast of how you see this progressing in numbers.
So, in the next 12 months, we're going to turn over 500,000.
And net profit?
We've modelled on an EBITDA basis, which is minus 444,000.
So, therefore, you're going to raise lots and lots of money.
We're going to be looking to raise about £1 million.
Hopefully, you'll get a dragon.
Absolutely.
And your valuation will go up.
Indeed.
Especially if you get me.
I agree.
But I have to think about it.
Thank you, Tuka.
The jury is currently out for the Den's King of Couture. Though it appears that a Gen Z genned up Stephen Bartlett is ready to deliver his verdict.
I think you are an exceptional entrepreneur. However, my central focus is, do I think you have created something that will retain users so that you can keep them there and one day monetize that audience?
Yeah.
And I don't. While I think you will have a tremendous sort of entrepreneurial success in your career, I don't believe that it's this. And so for that reason, I'm out.
A blow for the young entrepreneur who has lost her first dragon. Deborah Meaden may be in tune with Bianca's plans to put the brakes on fast fashion, but is she prepared to accelerate her business?
I absolutely love this. It is bang on for what is about to happen. And I love that you've done it. Can you feel a butt coming?
Yes, I can, but I'm optimistic.
Okay. I think your target of the sales in your first year is incredibly, incredibly racy. In a market that is not yet fully adopted, I think there is a high risk of failure. I'd say you've got a 50-50 chance on this. I won't be investing, so I'm out.
Bianca, I just think you have completely overcomplicated the proposition. I just don't believe that there is actually an opportunity for this in as big of a way you think it is. So I'm sorry to say it, but wish you all the best with the business, and I'm out.
Thank you, Sarah.
I love things like this. It's really, really exciting. Now, I would have been really interested to have invested in a business like yours if you came in with a far more reasonable valuation, but you haven't. So that is the only reason why, sadly, I'm not going to invest and say that I'm out.
A trio of turndowns for this trader in turn-ups. Only Tuka Suleiman is yet to declare his position. So will he be willing to buy into Bianca's vision for the future of his industry?
Ah, Bianca.
Finally.
Finally. You're great. And you've had a hard time today. You've got lots of ideas. And you need somebody to sit down with them and say, what is commercial, what is not commercial? And in a way, you need me to help you.
Was that an offer?
Not quite. I'm just giving you the reality of it. You're trying to make a movie without a script. So there's a lot of dreaming going on, and some of it definitely will not be a reality
Yeah.
unless you get somebody to write you a check out for 10 million. So I'm not going to make an offer today, and I'm out.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time.
Sadly for Bianca, she must leave the den with nothing. She may have been stylishly turned out, but it wasn't enough to prevent her business from being turned down. At least the fashion entrepreneur appears to be wearing the criticism well.
Wow, that was hard. But it's really important to get harsh feedback very early on.
She's got something. However, it's very blurred.
I think she's first class. If things don't work out, I would give her a job.
If you don't give her a job, I'll give her a job.
Hoping his business would perform in the den was musical theatre graduate Harry Turpin.
There's no business like show business. Can you see why I gave it up?
The entertainer turned entrepreneur hoped to dazzle the dragons with his healthy seed-based snack bars.
My name's Harry Turpin, and I'm the founder of The Savourist. It's a functional, savoury snacking brand. And we're here to educate consumers that functional and low-sugar products can be full of flavour and packed with personality.
Harry delivered his pitch with panache.
That was, in your words, full of flavour and full of personality.
Thank you.
But Peter Jones was more interested in the entrepreneur's family tree.
You've got a great name, Harry Turpin. Is there any legacy there? Or
My
not?
dad's name is Richard. My
Really?
dad's name's Dick Turpin. Yeah, my nan had a great sense of humour.
Deborah Meaden was keen to get Harry to stand and deliver the story behind the Savourists.
What's your background? How come you ended up creating the Savoury?
Of course. I actually studied musical theatre at university.
Oh, of course you did. That leads you straight into creating savoury snacks. So you weren't tempted to come in with a song then?
No. I mean, I could do a little tap dance.
Oh, go on
but
then,
I don't
do
think-
it.
I don't think it's going to go very far.
No, that's okay.
Harry was proving to be a popular protagonist.
You come across amazing.
Oh, thank you very much.
So much so that Tuka Suleiman was reluctant to ruin the mood with his review of the actual bars.
As far as your savouries, and this is personal taste.
Yep.
I'm trying to be very diplomatic here.
He doesn't want to say he doesn't like it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
No, it's just personal.
Yeah, of course. No, absolutely.
Deborah Meaden thought the savoury snacks were the answer to her prayers.
I'm trying to find protein, on the move protein,
Yep.
and I'm fed up with having to eat sweet bars to get my on-the-go protein.
Okay.
So you're doing absolutely the right thing. That's the good news.
Oh.
The bad news
Yeah.
is your branding's awful.
Oh, really?
I want to know that you are very, very different to
Yeah.
anything I have ever seen. In fact, looking at it from a distance, that is another one of those protein bars.
Yeah.
You don't want to be another one of those protein bars.
No, absolutely.
You want to be a bang, bang, bang. Forget the old, look at the new.
Harry may have possessed star quality, but did Sarah Davies believe his snack bars shared it?
I love you. That alone is making me want to invest. The problem is, I don't like the product. I don't like the business. So other than really liking you, there's not a lot to
Yeah.
want to do the investment.
Yeah.
So you know where I want to go with this, don't you? I'm sorry, mate. Good luck with it, but I'm out.
And with that, the curtains came down on Harry's prospects of closing a deal.
Can you walk and tap dance?
No.
They say you can't keep a good man down. You can try.
Next into the den are Jez and Katie, modelling a mobility aid with a difference. The brainchild of Yorkshire-based Lindsay Watterson.
My product changes the way people think about their disability, and when people look at you, they just focus on the walking stick.
No, you can't keep a good man down. I'm going
Lindsay's sticks aim to encourage people to look beyond their user's disability, and she's hopeful that the dragons will not only buy into the idea, but also her as well.
I think the dragons will see me as an investable person because I'm the only person in the world doing what I do. And that's true. It is.
The
Dragons. My name's Lindsay, and I'm here today asking for an investment of £80,000 for a 15% share in my company, Neo Walk. Now, when disability came knocking on my door, I was around your age, Sarah, and I was only 43 when I lost my leg because of an MRSA infection. And when I looked around, I saw a grey, ugly, dull world of walking sticks. And after many, many botched attempts at home, I finally made my first acrylic walking stick. And it was gorgeous, and I felt confident, and now Neo Walk has over 200 different combinations of styles and patterns, and our Neo Walk family is hugely diverse, from teenagers to veterans and even some celebrities. Now, I've made you all your own walking stick. Have a go, and I'll introduce you to Jez and Katie, and if you'd like to ask any questions, I'm really happy to answer them.
Acrylic walking sticks in a range of styles and colours are the offering from Lindsay Watterson.
How do you find them?
I find them really, really comfortable to walk around in.
She's seeking £80,000 in exchange for a 15% share of her bespoke mobility aids business.
Stephen, yours lights up.
Oh, hello.
Lindsay may have already illuminated the den, but will her products earn a glowing review from the Dragons? Sarah Davies is first to try and get a handle on the business, and she's clearly been gripped by this entrepreneur's story.
I can't imagine me at my age now having all of a sudden be thrown into something where you've got that debilitating feeling, and then to top all of that off, you have to get up and use a plain wooden walking stick.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it's a big hurdle on that journey of disability, actually using mobility aids. We aim to destigmatise and normalise them.
So how long since the first one came off the production line?
I started the business in 2013, really just as a small business, because I was acting and I was a circus performer as well.
You're a circus performer. What did you do?
Well, after I lost my leg, I was approached to be a performer in the opening and closing ceremonies for 2012. And at one point, there's a motorbike flies over the stadium with a blonde underneath, a one-legged blonde.
And that's you.
And yeah, flying.
That is an amazing thing to do.
It was incredible.
Excellent. Can you just talk me through the numbers?
2013 and all the way through, generally, because it was just a hobby business, was around about £10,000 a year. But 2019 into 20, we turned over 13,000. And then last year, we turned over 70,000. And this year, we are on target to turn over 200,000.
So how can you take that business to the next level?
I don't know whether any of you have encountered an MRI scan. Because it's a magnetic machine, you're not allowed to take anything metal into the room. And I've been manhandled over to the scanner bed, and it's really quite undignified. These walking sticks that we make are all acrylic. So we aim to access the NHS to be able to supply scanner-friendly walking sticks.
The mobility aid entrepreneur floats a tantalising prospect: doing business with hospitals across the country. And the purpose underpinning Lindsay's product has already resonated with Deborah Meaden.
I recognise the problem because my sister's in a wheelchair and she hates being manhandled. You know, pick what you want to make your own way. So how much do they sell for?
They average £75.
That's at retail?
Yes.
And so what's your most expensive one?
A light-up Starry Sky, which will retail at £119.
Okay, and the one you plan talking to the NHS about?
Would be around £40.
Okay, and how much do they cost you to make at the moment?
£16.
Can I stop you there for a second? Have you ever costed one of these anywhere else?
Well, I buy the rods from China for around about £12.
That's expensive. I'm only saying that because if you go to the NHS say, well, we're not going to pay you a premium.
No.
We haven't got the budget.
No.
You could probably make that for $3 or $4. $5 maximum. You need to go back to China and say to China, look, I'm going to be pitching this to some big players. My target price is $5. You'd be surprised.
lot of outsourcing sorcery, courtesy of manufacturing maestro Tuka Suleiman. But will the Dragons be willing to provide the mobility aid entrepreneur with the support her business craves?
Lindsay, well, congratulations, well done. I mean, you've come through real adversity, and I think it's actually quite inspiring what you've done. I love the fact you're a circus performer. I think that's just off the chart. But I'm just wondering, how difficult would it be if, for example, NHS caught on to your idea? What's to stop them thinking, why don't we go direct to source and buy the acrylic ourselves? How do you find a way to protect that potentially?
I didn't invent the walking stick, so I can't patent it. But what is pending registration is the look, it's the design, and it's the material, and it's the colours.
I would be absolutely staggered if that prevents somebody else from making a walking stick.
Yeah, I do think the opportunity is definitely moving down the volume route with many hospitals. But I think that the fact that you will not be able to protect somebody else from actually really doing this themselves does put a real ceiling very quickly on your business model. So sadly, I'm going to say that I'm out.
Lindsay has lost her first dragon as Peter Jones takes issue with the protectability of her product. Tuka Suleiman has already offered some wise words about reducing costs, but will he also offer this entrepreneur his cash?
Sometimes when entrepreneurs come into the den, they pitch it that they attract a dragon. Now, if you'd come in and said, guys, I need some help in my sourcing and I need £30,000, that's a punt. But unfortunately, you haven't pitched a business to me that is viable to invest £80,000. For that reason, I'm out.
You are a great entrepreneur, and you've also created a really great product. But as an investor, I look at this in terms of, if I deploy my capital, when will it come home back to daddy? And I don't actually think I'll be able to get my capital back within the next 5 years at least. So for that reason, I applaud you, but I'm out.
There's a saying in the investment community, and that is that debt is cheaper than equity. You've got a great case that you could go to the banks and say, I need a little bit of capital, and you could use that to organically grow the business in a way that would allow you to maintain control of the business. So my advice to you would definitely be, if you feel you need capital to grow the business, explore the debt route before the equity route. So for that reason, I'm going to wish you all the best, but it's not an investment for me today, and I'm out.
4 dragons are now out. Only Deborah Meaden remains. She's already lent this entrepreneur's plans a sympathetic ear. But does she also have her eye on a deal?
So, Lindsay, it's a really nice product, and it would really take a stigma of a walking stick away. I almost certainly will buy one for my sister, possibly 2, but at the moment in your format, you're not the solution for the NHS, because I promise you they will find another solution that costs less than £40. And therefore, I don't want to invest, because all I'll do is take a bit of your business, and I'm going to sit here feeling like I've hardly made a difference. So I won't be investing. I'm out.
Thank you.
Sadly for Lindsay, she must leave the den with nothing, having not quite reached the dizzy heights of 2012.
I flew over the Olympic Stadium 50 metres in the air. This was more scary. This was worse.
She may not have persuaded the dragons to part with their cash, but both the entrepreneur and her product earned plenty of praise.
I must say, my one is beautifully done.
It's rather Fred Astaire.
I'll take the advice and we'll go home and we'll work with it. This hasn't put me off at all.
While the pandemic has thrown up plenty of challenges for entrepreneurs, it's also generated opportunities. Hoping to profit out of their personal adversity are business partners Josh Cummins and Lee Hoppen.
We've got to bring it home. We've got this. Come on. I've known Josh for over 10 years. We've been good friends. We click really well, actually.
Lee likens himself a little bit to Tuka. I think he's got a similar sense of humour.
looking good.
Alright. I think you need to lose a bit of weight, but
You can talk.
if you get the investment, we'll go on a diet.
Gaining pounds in the den might mean shedding a few later. And while they can't shrink waistlines, winning the backing of these business heavyweights could expand profits.
You're gonna do great. Hello, Dragons. My name's Josh, and this is Lee, and we are the proud co-founders of Let's Sanitize. Today, we're asking for an £80,000 investment in exchange for 5% of our business. Let's Sanitize was founded at the onset of the pandemic. Our existing businesses were forced to close due to the nationwide lockdown. So we worked quickly with our existing suppliers to design and develop high-quality, customizable hand sanitizer stations. And Harry came to life. It was an instant hit, and we had orders confirmed immediately.
Meanwhile, hand sanitizer gel was fast becoming an essential product. So we took the decision to develop a range of high-quality, scented hand gels that were gentle on the skin, were vegan, and effective in killing viruses. We've recently launched a scented hand wash and hand lotion, which has grown Let's Sanitize into the complete hand care lifestyle brand.
So if you'd like to take a look in your boxes, you have got some samples of our products.
Customizable hand sanitizer dispensers and an accompanying range of hand care products are the offering from Josh Cummins and Lee Hoppen, who are seeking £80,000 in return for 5% of their business. Stephen Bartlett wants to find out how long the duo can keep cleaning up.
So I guess the first question is, your business grew out of hopefully temporary pandemic. Where does that leave your business after, touch wood, everything is back to normal?
Well, we're actually we're a complete hand care brand now. So we have scented hand wash, we have hand lotion.
And can you give a breakdown of how your sales have developed?
We sold over £1 million worth, it's nearly 1.1 million now, of branded hand sanitizer stations. Our hand care range followed on, and we've sold over £350,000 worth of products. We sell a lot of products directly to businesses, and we expect that to grow further as more and more businesses open up and have more footfall as the lockdown eases.
So in the last 12 months, give me some numbers in terms of sales.
So we will finish between 1.35 million and 1.4 million.
And gross margin on that? Gross profit, net profit?
So our gross profit is 522,000 and our net profit is 321,000.
And how does that vary between the hand care products that you've offered?
Typically, if you was to look at the mist spray, the manufacturing costs about £1.20 and we retail those for £9.99. And if it was our exclusive range, refill bottles, was around £2.20 and we retail them for £39.99. So we've managed to build in quite a bit more bigger margin on the more recent products.
News of impressive sales and increasingly generous margins has piqued interest in the den. Now Peter Jones wants to discover more about Josh and Lee's entrepreneurial bona fides.
You mentioned something about your business. You had a business before?
Yeah, so I'm a co-founder of an events experiential photo booth agency. Our turnover pre-pandemic was 1.1 million.
But what happened to the business?
It's still going, the business.
Okay.
I have a recruitment agency. We work with some of the biggest brands in the automotive industry. Prior to the pandemic, it was turning over around £900,000.
And it's still going today?
Thankfully, yes.
Have you got any other businesses?
Not yet.
No, exactly. Yeah. So how do I know that ultimately recruitment agency, everybody comes back and you're going, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. You're absolutely knocked off your feet because your events are opening up now and it's happy days. And I'm sitting there with a hand sanitizer thinking, where did it go wrong?
Our businesses are well established. I've got a management team in place.
So you're not going to be involved in that business?
I will be involved in the business from an advisory capacity, but on a day-to-day basis, I am 100% focused on this company.
Well, you can't be 100% focused if you're going in to talk about another business.
95% focused on Let's Sanitize.
The pair appear to have no problem generating profits, but Peter Jones is concerned that they could lack the focus necessary to dominate an ultra-competitive market. And Deborah Meaden wants to drill down further into the duo's numbers.
Can I just pick you up on your margins? £1.4 million turnover, £522,000 gross profit. What are you including in your GP?
Our gross profit is our turnover less our cost of sales.
What are you putting in your cost of sales?
We've got the cost of the product, the development of the product, and costs for contractor staff.
That's not what should be going in your cost of sales.
I'm not sure, Deborah, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. Listen, guys, you're smart. Asking what your GP is not a tricky question.
Sure.
This is like business 1, 2, 3. So, what margin do you think you're making in your business?
I believe it was around 40% on the gross.
Listening to your answer to Stephen, you said that you take a £1.20 product and you sell it for £10.
Yes.
No, but that's not on all the products. That's only on a few of the products.
No, it gets better than that. That's your worst product. Your margins get even bigger. But they don't, because when they turn up into your accounts, your margin is only 40%. Can you explain to me why your numbers say one thing, and then when you look at your individual figures, they say another thing?
So maybe that might be to do with the fact that, for example, if we'll take our hand sanitizer 500ml bottles, currently the cost to manufacture those is £2.22. If we sell through the likes of Ocado, we sell at £3.29. So, I'm not sure if that will...
Oh, blimey. That was a big piece of information you missed out when you were talking about your margins, because you said we make them for £2.20, we sell them for $39.99. And I should think every single one of us sat here and thought, blimey, this is a business I really want to get involved in. But the reality of that is actually you are selling a lot of product at a very suppressed margin.
We should have been more prepared.
You're in my eyesight, guys, so...
I know, certainly.
No hiding place for Josh and Lee, as only their affability saves them from a more serious mauling. So will Sarah Davies be prepared to pump her cash into cleansing?
I am so impressed with you guys that when the pandemic hit, both of your businesses crashed to the floor. Overnight, you turned around and you've built a business bigger than the two individual businesses you had. That is phenomenal entrepreneurship.
Thank you very much.
But having said that, I just don't see this business has anything unique enough to carry it past the immediate opportunity where everyone who's selling hand sanitizer is doing great at the moment. But that can't continue as the playing field levels out. And people who are established brands with established distribution, they will own that market. That's what concerns me. So, I'm sorry guys, it's definitely not one for me. I won't be investing today, and I'm out.
Disappointment for Josh and Lee as a first dragon washes her hands of the deal. The circumstances which created their enterprise may be temporary, but does Stephen Bartlett believe that the entrepreneurs themselves are here to stay?
You're remarkable.
Thank you very much.
In terms of delivery, likability, 10 out of 10.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you very much.
However, my gut tells me another opportunity will come along. You'll start a new business there. Those are the kind of guys you are. I want to invest in entrepreneurs that have long-term ambitions, that I have confidence they'll remain focused for the course of that journey. And I don't have that confidence. And for that reason, I'm going to say that I'm out.
So guys, something worries me. You left 5 people sitting here thinking that there were huge margins in this market without actually explaining your customers, the different streams that you've got. And as an investor, I need to understand the mechanics of the business. And unless you can present all of those parts of the business, I can't help. Because I will never know which bits are working and which bits are not working. So I won't be investing. I'm out.
Lee and Josh, I would class you as entrepreneurial street fighters. That's what you are.
Thanks a lot.
And I congratulate you for that, because I love that passion. But what I require when I invest is absolute commitment, focus, dedication, execution.
So can I convince you, Peter, that I've put all of my focus into this, help grow this, because we are literally only at the tip of the iceberg. The market's huge. I think there's so much opportunity here, and I can assure you that I will be fully invested to get this to where it needs to be.
Right, Josh, that's what I wanted to hear. Josh, I'm going to make you an offer.
Wow, fantastic.
I'm going to offer you all of the money for 20% of the company.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much. Really appreciate the offer. Thank you.
An unexpected offer for the hand care entrepreneurs as a smooth-talking Josh persuades Peter Jones into a last-minute change of heart. Only Tuka Suleiman is yet to show his hand. So is he willing to table a competing or even complimentary bid?
You are credible entrepreneurs.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Right? You are. Then let's get one thing straight.
Thank you.
So I'm going to make you an offer.
Oh, thank you very much, Tuka.
I will give you all of the money for 25%, or I'm willing to share with Peter for 12.5% each if Peter thinks that him and I can add value to you.
Thank you for your offer.
Thank you, Tuka.
Peter, would you potentially be interested in sharing?
I'd be very happy to share with Tuka. You know, he always does what he's told, and it works well between us.
Do you mind if we talk to the wall?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Peter Jones has offered £80,000 in exchange for a 20% share of Josh and Lee's business. And Tuka Suleiman has tabled an even larger 25% bid, with both also willing to share the deal at 12.5% each.
Do 10.
10, reducing to 7.5.
No. Just 10.
With their lowest offer standing at quadruple the amount of equity the pair were initially looking to give away, will they risk everything by attempting to negotiate more favourable terms?
Thank you both very much for your offers. We were looking really to give away no more than 15% in total. Would you both consider reducing down to 7.5% each?
No. Can I tell you something? I would make 3 or 4 phone calls very quickly and your business would trouble.
My instinct was 20% because I did feel that was right. I thought that Tuka coming back at 25 was fair because you're getting a bit of a double bubble as well. I would be happy to say we strike at 25, but when we get our money back, we drop to the 20%. So we have 10% each.
Okay, in that case, we'd love to accept your offer.
Great.
And thank you both very much.
Wow,
Great.
well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Josh and Lee have done it. The pair may have been down, but they were never out, and they leave the den with the £80,000 they were originally seeking.
Yes!
And 2 dragons in their corner.
Buzzing, absolutely
It's like
buzzing.
being in a boxing match.
It does, it was like a boxing match, back and forth. I feel like on top of the world.
They are real trader entrepreneurs.
What's that show on TV with Del Boy and Rodney Trotter?
Do you know what I love about that show? They always ended up making a little bit of money on the side, and they always ended up in a pub having a drink. What's wrong with that?
I was going to get a few drinks.
Oh, I need a large drink after that.
A satisfactory conclusion to the day's business as Josh and Lee dance out of the den with 2 new partners, Peter Jones and Tuka Suleiman. With a duo of dragons behind them, who knows, this time next year they might even be millionaires. Next time on Dragon's Den.
Oh. I'm telling you exactly what I think.
And I'm telling you what I think.
I think you are spot on.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
I think she might just make you a millionaire.
You don't look any different to when you were last here.
You look at me. What should I say?
I can give you a massive spade if you want to keep digging, mate.
I'm never second choice. You weren't even third. No offence.